Welcome, friends. Today I am going to do a quick first impression of a fragrance called Ambre Supreme from Les Indémodables. I believe this is a new release. I don't know if it's out yet, but I think it is. I received this without asking for it. I got an email on Tuesday saying, "You have a package coming from French." And I was like, "I don't know anyone French." I was like, "Who's French?" And then I thought, well, everyone in France is French. So that didn't really narrow it down, to be honest. So I waited until the Wednesday, and a package arrived, and it was in a big envelope. And I was like, "What on earth is this?" I thought it could be like a birthday present because it was my birthday the day after. So I opened it and I saw what was inside, and what was inside was this little box from Les Indémodables. What on earth could this be? So I opened it up, and inside was all of this. It's this 7 ml sample and a little jar, a little bottle. I don't think you'll be able to read that, but this is ambergris ultrasound tincture. There's a couple of mils in there. And I was like, well, I didn't ask for this, and I didn't pay for this. And I wondered why I had received it. The only reason I can think of why I've received it is that last month I got a bottle of Vanille Havane and Rose de Jamal. So I must be like in that good books. I must be like, he's bought a couple of fragrances, so we'll see if he's going to enjoy this fragrance. This is a healthy sample. This is 7 mils. Now, you all know my thoughts on free bottles for review. Don't like it. I would never ask for it. I would never accept it. This isn't a free bottle. This is a sample. You also know my policy on free samples. Samples should be given to people to try before you buy. If a company, I've stated this on Eugene's streams before, so I'll state it again now for everybody. If a company wants to send out samples to people, decent sized samples as well, not fucking 1 and 2 milliliter samples, 5 mil, 7 mil samples, right, to people to see if they then want to buy them or do a first impression like I'm doing now, they should send out samples like this, and then in future, if somebody buys that bottle, you will then know exactly what they think of it. 7 mils is enough to do a first impression and a review. You don't need to send full bottles. I personally really like what this has been done. Now, I do not know why they've sent this to me. I have bought 2 of their fragrances before, but I've received this, and I think this is the proper way that it should be done. I've said this on Eugene's streams before, and it has now come to pass. If this was a free bottle, I wouldn't have had it. And I wouldn't talk about it. I would tell you what had happened, but I wouldn't accept it. This is a sample though, and we're going to do a first impression. So, received this, fantastic, thank you very much. And there's been nothing to say like, they don't know I've got a channel. They just know that I've bought it. So there's a bit of full disclosure for you. It was sent to me. The shipping was €15, which that's just pain and suffering how much shipping's costing at the minute. If you've tried to ship anything recently, you'll know that shipping is abject misery at the minute. Yeah, it's not good sauce, but so anyway, we'll get to the fragrance. They sent me this, and I was like, ooh, how nice. I'll try it. I thought I'll try it, and I'll do a first impressions of it on video. So that's what we're going to do. This is Ambre Supreme by Les Indémodables. I'll read you the notes. I'll read you the literature that they've sent us. I'll show you it. So if you want to pause the video, we'll get it, make sure you can actually see it. I'll tell you what, I'll use the other hand so I don't block the light. There you go. If you want to pause it, they are the notes, and I'm assuming ingredients. So yes, I'll read them out as well. The top is aldehydes, clary sage oil, Switzerland Grand Cru, pink pepper CO2 Madagascar, cardamom oil India. Mid, orange flower alkulat Grand Cru neroli oil, Moroccan jasmine absolute India. So they haven't used any fucking grammar, any apostrophes or anything like that. So it's a bit of a pig trying to read this. So I'll try and interpret. Orange flower alkulat Grand Cru, neroli oil Morocco, jasmine absolute India, patchouli oil Aceh Grand Cru. Base, ambergris tincture ultrasound Grand Cru 10%. Immortel Ultrasound France Grand Cru from our private field in Provence, France. The retail price is eau de parfum, is the only concentration, and the only size bottle is 50ml, and it is €210. That is not a cheap fragrance. One thing I would like to say, or two things I would like to say about the ingredients. In the base, ambergris tincture ultrasound Grand Cru at 10%. That is bonkers. 10% of the formula, right? Not the alcohol, the formula. 10% is ambergris ultrasound Grand Cru. Ambergris tincture ultrasound Grand Cru. That is massive. Also, the Immortel ultrasound extract Grand Cru from our private. So they've got a private field in Provence, France. There's a lot of houses have that now, but they've sourced the Immortel from their own field. I believe the perfumer is Antoine Lee. That's the perfumer for Eugene's perfumes. I'm not giving away any secrets. I used to have to watch myself so much when we're on streams and not to say that name. And so that's the literature. There's a bit of a story inside. I'm not going to read that because this is just a first impression. But this is crazy as well. They've sent like a little ambergris, like bottle of ambergris, and I've smelled this. I'll come on to that in a second. It's outrageous. Ultrasound tincture. What the hell's ultrasound tincture? If anybody knows what ultrasound tincture is, please let us know, because I have absolutely no idea, but it sounds kind of cool. So if you want to let us know, please do. This first impression, right, is I realise I've been talking for 8 minutes. So that's taking the piss. I did say this would be quick at the beginning. Clearly, I'm tarting wet. Anyway, I will spray this now, and then we will find out what I think first from it. 2 sprays on the hand. Right. So, right, I can't tell a lie. I have actually sprayed this before, but this is the first time today. Sorry. Right. First off, aldehydes. Smells like sunshine. Very clean. You get the pink pepper. Cardamom, definitely. A little bit of neroli, definitely. And the ambergris. That's what I get straight away, the first blast. It smells very pleasant. It also smells very clean and soapy. And that's what the ambergris gives it, because I've smelled this in isolation. They scent like a little dipstick. We all know some dipsticks, but this scent like a little dipstick with this. And you dip it in and you can smell it, and it's very ethereal, very fleeting. It comes and goes. You can smell it, then you can't smell it, then you can smell it, then you can't smell it. It's kind of weird, but you can tell that is in here, definitely. And the way this fragrance is blended, it smells very, very clean and fresh, but quality. You can smell the quality as soon as you press it. There are florals in here, and you know how I feel about florals as well. But they're lovely. They're really done very well, and it makes you realise what the difference between good ingredients and shit ingredients is, and it makes you realise some of the shit that gets peddled as perfume that people say is good but isn't. First impressions, right? I can't believe I'm about to say this. This is outrageous. This is like a blue. This is like a blue fragrance, a blue signature scent fragrance, elevated above and beyond any other blue fragrance I have smelled. The Ambroxan model. This is first impressions. I mean, literally, this is like the first 2 minutes. So, but this is absolutely sensational. This is totally unisex. But if you want something clean and fresh, but nuanced and higher quality than anything you're going to find in like your department store, if you want a signature scent, but you want to spend the money to smell better than everyone else, that's this. This is just from the top. I may have to come back and do like a short or something, or do like a little follow up for what the dry down's like. But this is a first impressions, and the fact is I can't edit, so, and that's not my style. I'll have to just come back and do a little follow up video, maybe like make a playlist of like how it like changes. But it's changing already. Like I can smell like the patchouli, like the patchouli. The patchouli gives it like a depth. It doesn't smell like patchouli. Getting like bits of like the immortelle. The cardamom's quite present as well, but it's not a smack in the head. You will smell the difference. That's really the most what I can say. It's your favorite blue fragrance, but this is better. You know, I would, based on what I've smelled so far, I would buy this, but I would wait until the spring. For me, this would be like a spring summer. Like, if you want to smell quality all the time, you know, if you want to go to work and just smell like you mean business, but this might be a little bit too good for work. It only comes in 50 mils as well, so you could wear this, you could dress this up, you could dress this down to a point. Don't sit around in your fucking bathrobe watching like soaps wearing this. But you could wear this to go to work easily. You could wear this to go out easily. You would smell really nice. This is totally inoffensive, and frankly, everybody would want to know what you were wearing. It's artistic, but I think this could be very, very people pleasing. This is really, really quite good. Comparison. I'm looking now at my sample that I got of Sauvage, the elixir. I can't tell you how much better this is than anything like that. It's delicate, but also quite pronounced, quite profound. Like you know when you smell it. I would highly recommend. I don't know if they sell samples, but I would recommend trying to smell this at some point. I'm also going to do a future video of a couple of other perfumes that they've released recently. The cologne ones, they're doing 100 ml. The Haiti, and there's another one which totally escapes us, but they've got like two cologne ones. There's like a patchouli one from Indonesia, Escalda Indonesia, and I think Escalda Haiti. One's a vetiver and one's a patchouli. They're really nice. I'll do like a sort of first impressions on them as well. But yes, this will wrap up the first impressions of Ambre Supreme. Last thing I would say, This is not an amber fragrance. This is not like a golden labdanum, patchouli, vanilla amber fragrance. The amber definitely stands for ambergris. It is not dark at all. It has depth. It has a little bit of warmth, but mainly it's a soapy, fresh, clean signature scent, which is better than the fragrance that you're using for that purpose at the minute. So, thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed this first impression. I'm quite impressed on first impressions, but I will make a follow-up to just see where it goes. So I'll speak to you soon. Thank you. Goodbye.